What's going on, guys? It's Mr. IK here, back with another Hypixel Skyblock episode, and in today's episode we are going to be discussing the Spider Slayer. So, as you guys saw in the last episode, I'm now going through the Slayers, and trying to just explain what's actually good to get from them and what's less good to get from them. The Spider Slayer has a lot less good things to get than the Revamp Slayer, so this episode should be a lot shorter. But it's still going to be entertaining nonetheless, because there is some stuff that's like decently cool, and then of course at the very end I'm going to be explaining how to get through all of the bosses. So I guess without anything else, let's get right into it. Okay guys, I'm here with Maddox the Slayer, the person you need to talk to get all of your Slayer needs. I said this last time. One thing before I get into this Spider Slayer, I do want to ask, what do you guys think of my intro? I made it myself. I spent a really long time trying to pick which intro to actually do because there was so many options. But I mean, I like this one. I think it looks cool, personally. And I wanna know what you guys think of it. So, and if you don't want to let me know, then just don't. Problem solved. Anyways, let's get back into Spider Slayer. So of course we have 1 through 4. Spider Slayer 5 has not come out yet, but I will try to help explain these. But first we are going to go through the levels. So first off, we have Spider Slayer level 1. So one thing I did not mention in the last episode was all of the health that you were getting from Revamp Slayer. Well, in this it's crit damage. So like Spider Slayer is actually pretty nice because you get crit damage from it. So that's just one thing I'd like to mention. That's really cool. Of course, we have the Spider Ring, which is great and all, except for the fact that the Spider Talisman is not super easy to get, because in order to get it you need to take out a Brood Mother, which spawns on top of the Spider's Den hill thingy, and it only spawns like once an hour, and I'm pretty sure it's a not super common drop to get a Spider Talisman. So it's a cool accessory, but if you get the Spider's Talisman, then definitely upgrade it, but it's not easy to get. Next up we have Spider Slayer level 2, which gives you a Recluse Fang. If you guys watched the Revamp Slayer episode, you guys will know that I am like almost completely against all of these weapons because they're garbage. They're absolute they're garbage. This one isn't as bad because it doesn't like cost a lot. You just need a Spider Catalyst, which isn't super difficult to get. And of course you need a Spider Sword, which you can buy for like 100 coins over at the blacksmith or whatever it is. And it makes a Recluse Fang, which is cool and all, and I guess good to put in the museum and then never think about it again. Yay! And then of course we have the Tarantula Silk, which is just the upgraded version of the Tarantula Web, but it requires flint, and flint is really painful to get, but it's found in the Spider's Den. I advise using minions to gain through the collection. I haven't even gotten through the collection all the way because it's just super annoying. And so yeah, that's Spider Slayer level 2. Spider Slayer level 3. Of course, the left clicking doesn't do anything. I've already claimed it. And we have a Scorpion Bow. So, Scorpion Bow is cool because its ability is when you have fully charged shots while sneaking, it slows your enemy and does 35 damage. 35 times your strength as damage per second for 6 seconds. So that's really cool. But like also, it's kind of garbage, and it's pretty expensive, so not really worth it unless you're just gonna put it straight in the museum and forget about it. In case you guys couldn't tell, there's a recurring theme with a bunch of these items. Anyways, on to Spider Slayer level 4. We have the Tarantula Leggings and Tarantula Boots. These are pretty much worthless unless you're going to put it in the museum, because I mean they're pretty expensive. Like, don't get me wrong, they're really expensive. The spider boots are cheap, and then the tarantula boots are like really expensive. They're somehow more expensive than the leggings. So that's cool, I guess. Not really. And then we have Spider Slayer level 5. Now this is something that I do need to mention. So the tarantula minion, it's again really expensive, just like the revamp minion, but this time it's a lot better, because say you get a tarantula minion 4, cost spider minion 3. Now let's just do a little bit of comparison. These aren't the exact values, these are just approximates, but let's say we have a tarantula minion 4 and a spider minion 4. We'll just put it that way. So tarantula minion 4, spider minion 4. Now, tarantula minion takes 2 seconds longer than the spider minion. But think about this. The tarantula minion somehow, even though it takes 2 seconds longer, gets at least twice as much string as the spider minion, if not more. And it also gets something else that I don't even remember. I think it's iron. Yeah, it gets iron. Yeah, so the tarantula minions are definitely worth it, just up to level 4, and that's about it, because then you have to start paying webs or silk, and it's not super worth it after that, unless of course you're like rich or you're not an Iron Man. So, and here we have a tarantula helmet. So so the full set bonus for this is every 4th strike deals double damage and apply venom, reducing healing by 40% for 4 seconds. So that's cool and whatnot. It's nice and stuff. And so all of these pieces of armor have like extra bonuses. So this one's immune to healing reduction. This one is radioactive. You gain 1 crit damage per 10 strength. Max 1,000 strength, which would be 100 crit damage if I did math right. And so, I've heard people say that this helmet is really good. That would be the reason why it's really good. I mean, I've never used this helmet, so I can't judge. But if people say it's good, then maybe it is really good. Who knows? But of course, it's also not super cheap, so... But it might be useful. I might come back to this later and talk about it more. Next up, we have Spider Slayer level 6. I keep left clicking instead of right clicking. Here we have a Scorpion Foil, which does more damage to spiders. This one's kind of nicer because it doesn't require like previous weapons or the upgrade catalysts, but it's also super expensive. And it has this cool thing called Heartstopper. You have 4 tickers, which are basically just little circles that'll show up when you're holding the weapon in your hand. So it's a cool little thing. It's the same as the zombie sword and the Florid zombie sword and all that stuff. And so blocking clears 1 of the ticks and heals for 60 hearts. Once all of the tickers are cleared, your next attack does a lot more damage, and the tickers refill after 5 seconds. So it's cool, but also it's garbage. It's garbage. And then here we go, we have a Flycatcher. So this Flycatcher is really cool because it increases the speed of your minion by 20%. It's also ridiculously expensive, and you need a Fly Swatter, which is a Tarantula Slayer drop. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a rare Tarantula Slayer drop, and of course it requires a lot of Tarantula Silk. So it's a cool item if you want to buy it off the bazaar, but on Iron Man it's not easy to get. And then of course we have Medium Slayer Sack. It's pointless. Anyways, next up we have level 7. So level 7 has the Survivor Cube, which grants 5 vitality, which just increases the amount of healing you get. So it's pretty cool, and it's just something that you get once you hit level 5. So it's nice, and it's a free accessory. And then we also have the Spider Artifact, of course, which you can craft. So that's cool. It's an epic accessory if you have the resources, but also not super useful, or you don't really need it that much. And then we have the Mosquito Bow. It's cool, I guess. it's not worth it, sadly. So, a lot of items in this are not really worth it. But here we go. Let's go to Tarantula Broodfather. So, how you kill Tarantula Broodfather 1. You get yourself a paperclip, you stab him once, he dead. Easy. Okay, on to level 2. I mean, but seriously, honestly though, just get diamond armor and like any sword and stab him once and he's dead. Anyways, on to Broodfather 2. I would say probably the same stuff as I said for the Revant guy. Revant, oh, wow, Zombie Slayer, there we go, nailed it first try. You just get yourself a like Raider's Axe or a Mercenary Axe, and you get yourself like one of those fancy armor sets from Rosetta. That was her name, I remembered. I'm literally recording these like less than 30 minutes apart from each other because I'm going out of town, and I forgot her name. So that's kind of awkward. Anyways, that's how you take out this. Now, be careful, it does do a pretty decent amount of AoE damage and reduces your healing, so just watch out for that. Now we have Broodfather 3, has 900k health, 210 damage per second. This you can take out with a Aspect of the End or Aspect of the Dragons, and strong dragon armor is probably needed, because if it takes too long, I've seen this happen, I don't really know why it happens, because there's no like specific details, but the longer you take, the more your like healing gets reduced for some reason, or like the more damage you take. It's really weird. I don't know how it works, but yeah, it's kind of annoying. And then of course we have Broodfather 4, which is 2.4 million health. You're definitely going to need a like fierce or pure strong dragon armor. I advise Aspect of the Dragons, or possibly even getting a dungeon weapon like a Livid Dagger, or anything higher than that will obviously do the trick as well. One thing I will say, so if you, I don't know if you guys remembered or watched the video, but in my Revant Slayer video, I stated that you can use a rock. In this, do not use a rock. The one reason why you can kill this Broodfather easily is because if you keep moving around, he can't get good hits on you. If you sit on a rock, you'll die almost instantly. That's it. Like, even in Shadow Assassin armor, which is what I have, you will die almost instantly if you sit on a rock. Unless they changed it. Like, the poison damage has been a little bit weird. With the spider minions, it's a little bit buggy. So unless they've fixed the bugs, you'll die instantly. But that's basically how you take out a level 4, and then of course level 5, no, don't start. And of course level 5 doesn't exist yet, so that's cool. But yeah, basically that's it for this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Next episode we're going to be doing Wolf Slayer, which I'm only level 5 in, so I can't tell you guys about level 7 yet. I'll probably have to come back to that later once I get to it. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this wonderful spider talk, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!